We're here at Sea Kayaking UK in Nigel Dennis's factory, and we're just going to show you how to apply some keel strips to your sea kayak. Our first job is just to clean the boat. I'm just using a rag with some acetone. So what we need to do with this first layer of tape is run it exactly across the keel strip. What's important is just to spend a little bit of time getting it central. I'm just looking down the boat just to double check that it is straight. Now what I'm doing is I'm just trying to push the tape down so it's completely flat without any creases in. Now you can do that just by holding the edges and smoothing it down. We're going to have 3 pieces of tape, one centre one and 2 on each side of it. Okay? And it's important that you get the tape nice and stuck down, because you don't want any gel to go underneath this tape. Now this centre tape was the first one we put it down. That's actually where the keel strip's going to be. But it was just a guide, so now we're just going to remove it. Now we're just going to do the 2 points of the keel strip. And that's one side. Try and line it up to get the point as central as possible. What we need to do now is just key the area where the keel strip's going to sit. 320 grit sandpaper. I would recommend just wearing a dust mask. And what you're trying to do is just take that shine off the gel. Put a small amount of acetone. You don't want to put too much on, and you're just going to clean that area between the 2 pieces of tape. Next I'm just going to tape off the skate box just to stop any resin from going across that area. Same on this side. And again, just leave a little bit of a tail on the tape, and that'll make it easy to remove. This is going to be the first layer of the keel strip, and this is the strength in the keel strip. It's a 2-inch wide dylan, very tough, very strong, and that's what we're going to use. Okay, I'm just going to measure the tape I need. Something that just takes a little bit of time, but I've found works the best, is to re-roll this. Behind the skeg box now, so it's going to be a shorter strip. So again, now I'm going to roll that. So I'm going to have one larger roll for the front half and a smaller roll for the back half behind the skeg box. So I've got my rolls ready, my brush, and put the required amount of catalyst in the resin. I'm going to give it a good stir. What I'm doing now is I'm just putting a thin layer of resin between the 2 pieces of tape. Now for this bit I'd take my gloves off, place it at the back, and that should stick there fairly nicely. And what you can do is just pull the tape tight, and the same as applying the masking tape, you're just trying to sit it between them lines. Same again at the back. Now I'm just going to wet out one end of the tape, and you'll find that stays fairly stuck there, and you can just use brush strokes to kind of stretch out the dylan towards the front of the boat. Just sometimes the dylan might have moved, so you can just do little taps with your brush just to put it back in line. So I'm just smoothing them little ripples. Now Now when you're pulling off this tape, just try and keep it going all in one pull. So at this stage, you just need to let that go off completely before we move on to the next stage. It has to be completely solid. So once this has went off, all I'm going to do is trim the edges of the dialing to take any bits off that are sticking up. So now all I need to do is put the masking tape about 0.5 millimetre just below the line of the resin on either side. Put some 2-inch tape over the skeg box hole here, and all I've done with a Stanley blade is neatly cut as close to the edge as I can. So I've got my white gel here, and all I'm going to do is add a little bit of wax. Now I'm just going to add some glass bubbles to thicken the paste. This is the kind of consistency after adding the bubble that we're after. Okay, I'm just going to add the catalyst to my gel, ready to go. Pour it in. Very important with this is, more important than resin, is to really mix the catalyst into the gel. So I'm just adding the gel now. This is the final coat. Don't be shy about putting it on too thick, and you want it to overlap the tape by quite a bit. So I'm just dolloping it on there. Now, probably the most important bit here is the final brush. So I'm going to do 2 brushes, one on one side, one on the other, and it has to be one continuous from one end to the other, no stops. So I've done my 2 final brushes there. I'm happy with the outcome. It's one of them things that you can keep playing with, but you know, the more you fiddle with it, the worse it'll get. So what I need to do is not take it off too quickly, otherwise not take the tape off too quickly, otherwise the gel's going to run down. So I'm just going to wait until it kind of goes a little bit thicker in the pot. You can check it on the edge of the tape, and then you can take the tape off. So I think I'm about ready to pull the tape off here. The way you can check is if this looks thick enough, you know it's ready. So that looks good there. Again, just try and keep the tape flowing as it comes off. Now the last piece of tape is just to pull out the skate box. Okay, this is me finished keel strip. It's the end of the video. This keel strip went really well. I'm happy with it. If this video has inspired you to give it a go yourself, great. Good luck. If not, your local kayak dealer will be able to do it for you. Thank you for watching.